Hey everyone, StarCraft here, and continuing on with my Marv Wolfman Raven stuff. Like I said before, because I'm still working on the Teen Titans game stuff, that is going to be like a really long, probably my longest one yet. But until that point, I'm going to be going over issues 17 and 18 of DC's Brave and the Bold, the two-parter written by Marv Wolfman featuring Raven and Supergirl. And yeah, there's not much else to say. This is the first time these two have interacted since the post-crisis Supergirl number 2, and this is also after Raven's miniseries. So yeah, let's see what happened. Also, the artist is Phil Winslett, so it's actually going to be a lot more interesting. Although there's one point even I'm like, was that Marv's doing or was that Phil's doing? You'll see when you get there, but let's just dive in. This is going to be a short one, I hope. We open up with someone having a flashback. You don't know who it is yet, but whoever it was is talking to them, saying how, I don't know, like, what do you know about, and what you want to know about your father? Admits, I don't know who he is. I don't even remember being pregnant. You don't want to know. He was evil. Forget he exists. People tell me he was a superhero. Whoever this is, clearly their mother is conflicted on everything, and then we see that she's dead. We then see Supergirl having a freak out as her father is talking to her. Embodied in this crystal is the knowledge you will need in order to assimilate better. I made you an innocent. When you get there, once you've earned their trust, you are to seek out the baby Kal-El and kill him. Yeah, that was something that was set up in this version that Jeff Loeb would introduce in the opening arc of Supergirl, and then leave for other writers like Joe Kelly, and in this case Marv Wolfman, to deal with. And then other writers would eventually come along, try to explain it away until Sterling Gates would come along and finally reveal, oh, yeah, it turns out that was all brought on by kryptonite poisoning. But for this sake, and by this point, that's a long ways away. So, yeah, she's still having these images, these visions. She wakes up, brushes her teeth, and then goes out for a flight as she goes to talk to Nightwing. We then start to see a bit more about who this person who's having these visions of his mother is. A boy named Johnny. And basically, just to point out, this vision of his mother here, just saying he was so handsome, just like you. Anyway, Johnny's basically claiming how the campus is and they're building weapons, a nuclear power generator. Are we going to accept it? No. Then some of his friends that are with him are telling him, come on, we can't keep pushing at it. We don't know what's going on or whatnot. And Johnny's basically saying, you got to trust me one last time, as his hands glow. And some officers are ready to come on in. Well, the dean comes up to a detective, explains everything, and basically says they're trespassing. They have no right to be there. So basically, this is treated not as a hostage situation, but still an intense situation. Anyway, they come up to a big giant door as Johnny starts to make his hands glow as he starts to melt his way in. And then we see his mother again, looking very different, as she says, your father? You know we don't talk about him, Johnny. Yeah, whatever's going on keeps on changing back and forth. She remembers him, she doesn't remember him. She looks healthier, and younger, not that old. She then looks withered and older. Either way, whatever you did to get him through, melting the door down, it's drained him as they keep on going through and going on in. We then cut back to Starge's Academy as this one girl is trying to find Rachel Rose, aka Raven. And Raven? Okay. And Phil Winslett does great artwork, but what is Raven wearing here? I mean, okay, is she going for a full-on goth punk look with all the fishnet stockings? I mean, it's kind of hot, I admit, but really not what I expect for Raven. It's just, what? And not only that, but looks like those pants are the only thing covering up her, yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, what? It's not even like there's a thong there, there's nothing. definitely doesn't seem like what Raven would wear. And going on too long with this. Anyway, Supergirl just flies on in, picks her up, and they fly off. And Raven developing her costume as she does. They basically bring up what their last meeting in Supergirl #2, where basically she tried to, read her mind and she didn't like it. And funny enough, we're on the same tower where the snipers were in the miniseries, where Anastasia was at. But anyway, they're talking. Nightwing basically pointed her their way, saying you two actually might have more in common. As they're taking off, Supergirl fries the cell phones. Yeah, Supergirl in this case has issues. Trust me on that. But basically, yeah, when you think about it, they kind of do. They both have evil daddy issues in this regard. Again, as far as Supergirl knows. And basically, when they ask, what do you want me to do? You want me to help you? And what do they try to do? They try to meditate. And I get a feeling from the animated series, I'm not getting it. Shh, free your mind. I'm trying, but I keep thinking of things. Weird things that she's imagining. I guess a whole bunch of different variations. Who knows? And Kara keeps on complaining, all this stuff. And it's quite clear that Raven is getting impatient. Like, I'm trying, but every time I visualize cute bunny romping through a perfect meadow, someone blows it up. Kara, work with me here. Think happy thoughts. Again, I have a wee feeling there's a little bit of animator Raven in her. Anyway, we once again see Johnny's mother. Your father, Johnny? I don't know how you were born. I hadn't been with a man for forever. Meanwhile, with Johnny and the others, they are continuing on. As her friends are trying to talk him out of it, basically saying, you need to arrest him, but he snaps at the girl, Christy, and tries to strangle her to another friend of his, talks him down. Then a security guard shows up and says, you're not going anywhere. And basically Johnny says, yes we are. Then we see Supergirl continuing on complaining, basically saying, there's a zillion things going in my mind, Raven. Clutter. If you want to get better, you need a spring cleaning. Buddy. And then Barb's like, or maybe Papa Badass programmed my body not to accept this Zen crap. He wanted me to be a killer. Why would he have let me have any peace of mind? And then she goes on about how, she's not like Cal. Probably the first time Raven sounds like she's heard that name. And then basically point out how, I was taught he was taught, a baby, he was taught right from wrong. I was taught to kill. Maybe that's all I'll ever be good for. To which Raven points out, Nightwing was right. We are a lot alike. And basically, she brings up the helper saying, last time you resisted. May I? Is it going to hurt? Only if you say no. There's a lot of ways people can misread that. Then we see Johnny's mother again saying, your father? There were times when I thought you were some kind of spontaneous pregnancy. Then we cut back to the building. We see that the security guard has been fried. We see his mother again. You want to know about your father? All I know is one day he just disappeared. No one ever saw him again. Christy and the others are telling him he's gone too far. All that. And basically saying he's then saying the kids' game are over. We're going for the real prize. And then he uses his power to somehow convince Christy to continue on. We then continue on with Raven taking Supergirl to Azaras. Basically, the priests of Azaras are going to help her, just like they helped Raven. And when asked, was it hard? Considering the alternative, I didn't think I should complain. As we see Trigon. Nice. The priest then, they show up to the priest, and basically, they ask, can they help her? And at the same time then, we see Johnny, he starts having all these different memories of Triumph. Yeah, his father was Triumph. The guy, now Triumph is an interesting character in that he was basically created as a hero that never was during Zero Hour. Where basically he was one of the founding members and the original leader of the Justice League. But then on an adventure, he got wiped from history. No one remembered him. Then he reappeared during 0 Hour. But basically, he was basically still in the mindset of a beginner, whereas everyone's moved on. So yeah, he thought he could take back control of the Justice League, but he wasn't prepared. Then later on, other things happened. Eventually, he became a villain, a bad guy. Tried to deal with the Justice League during Grant Morrison's run. The Spectre turned him into ice, and Morrison completely forgot he was still up there when he blew up the satellite, and basically like, oop, my bad. Yep, he dead. And basically, he's been an anomaly, a temporal anomaly. That's why his mother can't remember things, but of course, he doesn't know. Then we see him hooked up to some kind of strange machine, as we then get another vision of his mother. All that's important is that you are here and that you are not your father's son. And yet he feels like, at long last, I am my father's son. We then see Supergirl is resisting, as Raven says, she does that a lot. But it will soon succeed until they start to sense death and hatred. And they go back to Earth, and she says, we have to wake her up. She cannot be awakened, or she will never know peace for the rest of her life. And that's the end of issue 17, and wow. Okay, seriously, I'm already noticing this is going to go on long, so trust me, the next one's not going to go that far. As we basically pick up the next one with her getting another vision from Jor-El, basically saying, you will kill him, and she keeps on fighting him until Raven shows up, and yeah, she's interrupting her, and I just love this. You don't know what it's like having some demon dad living inside you, screwing with your head, making you do things you don't want to do. Excuse me? I love the little Tootie Raven right there. And then Raven goes, I was at war with my father while you were still playing Sleepy Beauty from outer space. Yeah, okay, Raven snapped. But basically they have to go back to Earth, and yeah, Raven says, I'm not giving you options, as it looks like Johnny still trying to figure out how everything's going on. What's with the different stories? But then, as we see at one point as they're talking, we find out he killed his mom. Damn. Then basically Raven and Supergirl show up. They start seeing a lot more damage, probably brought on by Johnny. As they continue on talking, Supergirl starts thinking, why didn't it fix me? And Raven reveals, it's not to solve your problems, it's to help you learn how to solve your problems. And basically it was going to be the first of many confrontations. It is not going to be something easy. And finally, when she keeps on complaining about me, Raven says, not everything is about you. As they basically come upon Johnny. And we finally get some answers to all this. Turns out it wasn't a nuclear power plant. It was part of Dayton Industries, Beast Boy's stepfathers, and going with the Mento project. Mento was Steve Dayton. They were able to use Mento powers. So basically that's what this machine's been able to do. And basically we start to have Raven explain more things about it. How basically he starts remembering all the different memories, and oh, I love it. His name was Triumph. He named himself after an unsolved comic and dog. Okay, that's old but still funny. As his mind is still shifting in and out, Raven is sensing all this, and basically finally realizes, you were telling the truth. Oh God, I didn't believe you. So I killed you. So basically using all this stuff, he finally realized what he's done, and basically Raven summarized it. He's been looking for his father, but he's been shifting between realities. And when he disappears, he does not understand, but some of Mitchell's life force goes with him. He's being pulled apart, his very being, his essence. Jeez, that kind of sucks. And all of a sudden, he starts to steal his soul, and if she had continued on. And basically, for a moment they're connected, and Supergirl sees and Trigon, and she realizes, wait, that's what you've had to deal with? And yeah, basically she explains, like what she used to do. If it wasn't for the Titans, they cared and loved her, but they could never understand, not like Supergirl seems to. Which is nice. And basically he points out how While Mitchell may not be evil, so long as he's drawing power from his power, he will destroy everything. They fly in, ready to go physical, and somehow get sucked into a digital plane, the temporal matrix, and basically something that Johnny had created. And basically, he's basically Raven trying to say it's not your father's power, but really it was actually in Raven's soul energy he's been tapping into. So what does Johnny do though to keep him distracted? Basically creates Trigon and Jor-El images. And basically, Kara's starting to freak out, and Raven tries to say, this is no different than meditation. You need to control yourself. And basically, Raven says, you cannot mistake strength for will. You have to believe. And they both take down the two images. I fought him. I beat him. I know. Congratulations. Just a thought. He thinks he's ever, done the big M, meditation. How could that? Oh, you really are devious. Are you certain you're Superman's cousin? Sometimes I wonder the same thing. Where basically, they turn the tides and have Triumph appear before him. And basically, Triumph starts to question him. First, telling it, and Johnny starts to say, you can't be asking me this. He's basically, telling him, why did you do all the killing? And basically Johnny's saying, you took a part of me away. And he's still making excuses, but then eventually, he basically snaps and saying, give up your power. Do it now. And Raven explains, while they got things created to reality, it was his fight he's making. And then Johnny finally does. He lets it go and they both disappear. And that's pretty much it as things are wrapping up. We then see that, they defeated Zor-El and his, I kept saying Zor-El, in their head, they're still there. Memories do not vanish. And basically, when she asked, but you can make them go away, couldn't you? Cure me? At least make me forget? Yes, but you won't. It is our struggles that make us strong. In other words, I can't because editorial mandate. Anyone ever tell you you're a real big pain? Not more than once. I have a question. Shoot, something you said before when I said his father's name was Triumph. What is an insult, comic dog? Jeez, Ray, don't you do anything besides meditate all day? That's it. Tomorrow, Cassie and I are taking you clubbing. Ha! Got you. I watch Conan, see? I do have a sense of humor. Yeah, a lousy one. I knew it right away. You lie. You had no idea. Prove it. Empath. Remember? Damn it. Okay. So, yeah, that was the book. And it was fun. Nice. Self-contained. Kind of wrap things up a little too quickly, but the ideas were nice, clever, the interactions were good, and yeah, when you really think about it, Supergirl by this point anyway was very much like Raven, and I kind of like how Marv Wolfman played off on that. So yeah, that's all I have to say. So yeah, that was the 2 issues of Brave and the Bold, and gotta say it was an interesting story. Especially dealing with Triumph of all people. I did not expect that, but the idea of how he kept coming in and out of time and became an anomaly, and how it actually plays off how he died after Morrison's run, because Morrison had him frozen and then let him die, and then they're like, "Oops, oops, I left him to die. My bad." And yeah, and it was sad but interesting. Obviously, since this couldn't tie into their own and to Supergirl's ongoing. It didn't resolve anything, but at the same time it resolved enough. And yeah, it was an interesting story about people and their and children and their fathers. And I kind of like it. I mean, as I know later on what would go on with Supergirl, at this point, I know it ended up being pointless anyway, but for what it was at this point in time, given how the status quo was going, it was a nice tale. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Next time, if I continue on with the Raven stuff, I'm definitely going to be doing, whenever I get to the Raven stuff, it's going to be the New 52 miniseries that came out at one point. This particular one, this miniseries. And until that point, though, yeah, I have not much else to talk about. I am not gonna review Female Furies. I did not get that. I am not reviewing that. Tristan and Nerdette just did a review of it. Go listen to hers and watch hers. I'm not touching that one. I might do something else, but I am shooting for this Raven-ish miniseries. Again, may or may not. We'll have to see. Until then, catch y'all later.